Hey, what's happening guys? My name is Doodles and welcome to another episode of This Week in Music, the weekly series where I recap some of the biggest news stories in the world of music from the previous week. And I generally start to get the news stories together for this show at some point during the weekend, ready because it usually goes live on Monday. And I have got quite a lot of stories this week. It may end up being a two-part video, which if it is, I'll link the second one down below in the description box. But enough about that, let's get started. Yoko Ono. So Yoko Ono was taken to hospital on Friday evening in New York City after suspecting of having a stroke. It came up as a breaking news story on my news feed, and I was obviously intrigued and wanted to keep up to date with what was happening. Thankfully, the reports quickly changed to she was just experiencing flu-like symptoms. She did return home on Saturday and is now said to be recovering. Guns N' Roses. So Guns N' Roses have popped up on this news series quite a lot so far, and this week is no exception. I've actually got 3 news articles from the Guns N' Roses camp, so a lot has been happening. But that is to be expected because they recently announced that they were getting back together, so obviously the world is on the edge of their seat waiting for any bits of news relating to this. But first up, it was said that Slash Duff and Izzy Stradlin were in the studio together penning new tracks for a new album, and they're working hard on putting new stuff together and getting ready for the tour. However, it was said that Axl Rose hasn't been a part of this, which is not really be something to be surprised about, because Axl didn't actually show up for a lot of the recording stuff back in the day. Most of Use Your Illusion was wrote without Axl, then he came in and spent a long period of time on his own getting the vocals down and getting it all right, so that is kind of truthful. You wouldn't expect too much from that. However, Izzy Stradlin has long shied away from the media attention, and that is part of the reason why he quit Guns N' Roses. He always wanted to be in a band that was about a 2,000 seat venue kind of band, not a multi-year world tour band of the capacity and the level that Guns N' Roses were. So he has long shied away from the media and therefore has never had a Twitter account. However, a Twitter account for Izzy Stradlin was opened up last week, and it has apparently been confirmed as being legit, and it went on to say that Izzy Stradlin would not be part of the reunion. He hasn't been in the studio with Slash and Duff. He isn't working on any new songs for Guns N' Roses. He's been writing new songs, but not specifically for that, and he has no plans on being part of this reunion tour. However, Izzy Stradlin does show up on quite a lot of the shows over the past few years. I've seen him with Guns N' Roses once in 2006, and he showed up in 2012, and he showed up on a few other occasions too. So it's not out of the question that he will have no involvement with this. I personally think that Izzy is trying to shy away to sort of downplay his involvement, so when he does appear at one of the shows, it will be a big surprise, because he generally shows up in the sort of the new lineup shows that were going on sort of from the 2000s onwards. He sort of showed up and did 3 or 4 songs, so maybe that is going to be his level of involvement. Maybe he'll come in and do some of the more favourite hits of his, or the ones that he sings on, and yeah, who knows. So that means if Izzy isn't fully involved from start to finish with the show, then there is still room for a second guitar player. Whether Gilby Clarke is going to do it, I don't believe he's got any official involvement in this. Apparently Dave Kushner from Velvet Velvet is also said to be involved, but whether that is the case, I'm not sure. So whether this is all Izzy is trying to downplay it and he will be involved completely in the reunion, or whether he will just show up sparingly when he feels like he wants to and doesn't want to commit to a specific touring and long touring schedules, who knows. But continuing on from the Guns N' Roses story, because that was quite long, we're only in the second news article. Apparently Guns N' Roses multi-instrumentalist Chris Pittman has hit out at the reunion tour, calling it a money grabber. In a post that ended up being deleted by Chris Pittman, I've got it here, he went on to say, "This is a nostalgia tour, please don't mention those who were there for the last 20 fucking years, or God no, a money grab, F you." This wouldn't be the first time that Pittman has took a jab at the reunion, because prior to the reunion being officially announced, he was silenced about this matter. He did go on public record and say that the reunion was happening, and then not long after said that the reunion wasn't happening, and then it turned out the reunion was happening. So whether he's been in the doghouse over that situation, or whether Axl has decided that he is not needed for this tour and obviously ended his tenure in Guns N' Roses, who knows. I'm sure the news will appear eventually, and when it does, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Save the day. So last week I spoke about Puddle Mud singer Wes Scantling going on a on-stage meltdown regarding his sound engineer, and it turns out that people are really saying some stupid things on stage, and the first comes from Save the Day singer Chris Conley. Now during a recent Where's the Band show where singer and songwriters collaborate with each other and play each other's songs, Chris really wasn't happy about members of the audience talking to each other while he was performing. And now Chris went on to say to the audience, "This is a teaching moment, you all better have to take a class to be part of the crowd, it's all about respect, motherfuckers. Come on, we're doing this together, you're out there chatting, we're up here away from our families trying to play you heartfelt songs, shut the fuck up and listen." So although you are away from your families, and I do completely get that you're doing the thing that you love, and obviously people are paying to see you, and you want the performance to be appreciated and to matter to these people because it matters to you. If people are the ones paying your bills, treating them that way really doesn't help because they probably won't come see you again live. So I think people really need to be careful what they say on stage towards the audience that are the ones that are paying their bills and supporting their families. But that is not the only person who said something stupid. The next one is even better. Matchbox 20. Rob Thomas of the band Matchbox 20 really landed himself in hot water after making a racist remark during a show in Australia. Now during the show, Rob Thomas made a rather racist remark, referring to himself as a black Australian because he had been drinking so much. Apparently he wasn't aware of how serious the remark was that he made, and when he found out about it the next morning and found out the public's response, apparently he ended up crying in his hotel room, and he made a rather heartfelt post online, which I've got here, which I'll read for you. And it really does try to explain the situation from his end, and try to make out that it was more of just a joke about how drunk he was, that he didn't actually know who he was because he'd been drinking that much. And I'll read this out for you guys now. The joke I made was meant to be at no one's expense but my own. I made a comment about drinking so much on the long flight over that I started to think I was something I'm not. I said I drank until I thought I was Australian, then I drank so much that I thought I was a black Australian, then I drank so much I thought I was a little Australian girl. These were 3 things I chose at random to represent 3 things I'm not. I'm not Australian, I'm not black, and I'm not a little girl. Again, if I had any idea of the stereotype, I would have chosen another example. There were absolutely no malice, even in jest. I was so ignorant of the situation that when I heard people groan, I actually thought they were being racist. I didn't know until today that just the phrase black Australian was racist all on its own. I sat in my room and cried when I found out. I'm truly sorry for how this came across, most of all to the indigenous people here. Australia has always been so good to me for so long that I am embarrassed I don't know more about the history and the culture. While I'm here, I'm going to use this opportunity to rectify that. So at least Rob did apologise for his mistakes. These things happen when people get drunk, people say stupid things. Just when you are in the public eye and you are on a public platform, when you say these things, it can have really, really bad consequences, such as Phil from Pantera with his whole white power thing. This is just another stupid thing that someone said that probably didn't have any malice meaning towards it, but obviously when you say things, you leave yourself open to being attacked. Kanye West. And now it's that time of the week where we get our daily dose of the world's biggest douchebag, that is Kanye West, and we see what stuff he's been saying and what absolute idiotic nonsense has been coming out of his Twitter feed. And this one probably deserves a video all in its own, and it's probably what is going to cause the 2-part one, because this is great. Kanye West went on a lengthy Twitter rant attacking Bob Ezrin, an iconic producer known for his work with Pink Floyd, Alice Cooper, and pretty much every big classic rock name out there. He's produced some of the most iconic albums that we listen to and some of the most influential albums of the past 40 or 50 years. The rant started after Bob made a tweet referring to Kanye West as a clown, and this one is going to go on for some time, and I'll put it all up on screen for you guys, and sit back and enjoy it because I don't know what to say. But right, here we go. Right, so Bob said, I feel like opening with what kind of crazy fucked up world is it where this guy is considered to be culturally important, but that's your line. Sure, he has made some great music for himself and others, but in spite of what the media keeps saying about him, unlike other creators in his genre like Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie, or even MC Hammer for that matter, it's unlikely that we'll be quoting too many of Kanye's songs 20 years from now. He didn't open up new avenues of public disclosure like NWA, or introduce the world to a new art form like Grandmaster Flash, or even address social issues through his music like Marshall, Macklemore and Kendrick. In my opinion, his productions are his best work, and I admit I'm jealous of several of them, but I don't think he's quite on the same level as Timbaland and Rick Rubin amongst several others. His songwriting is sophomoric at best. I was embarrassed for Sir Paul, one of the greatest artists of our era, by their collaboration, though it was pointed out to me that this got him his highest chart position in decades, so I guess he didn't mind, but I kind of did. Instead, Kanye's greatest achievements being the form of excessive behaviour, tantrums and tasteless grandstanding. What he is a true artist at is living his life out loud and shoving it down the throats of the rest of us whether we give a shit or not. He's like the flasher who interrupts a critical game by running naked across the field. Is that art? Maybe it is. Maybe as Karamanicus says, life as an unending data stream is a new art form, but should it be? Hell, Forbes named this guy one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2005 and 2015. Seriously, influence and what exactly? In the reviews of the endless new album, Karamanicus wonders if being slightly finished is the new finished, and that just makes my blood boil. These great musicians, writers, poets, rappers, performers, dancers, players, conductors, directors and producers work all their lives for that one moment of complete perfection, that one brilliant performance, that one perfect song, that one enduring and life-altering work. 10,000 hours is peanuts in comparison to the real amount of time spent by true artists in their lifelong pursuit of excellence, but no one else that I've seen is this happy to have the audience watching all along the way. They are the working of something to the exquisite feeling of completion that comes from working and reworking until that moment when their creation or their performance is as good as it could possibly be. This guy is just feeding the media machine. I'm not even certain to what end. Maybe he just needs attention like that flasher and he isn't happy until he's the centre of it. What goes me the most though is the thought that he and others, especially the media, might actually believe that he is an artist with a capital A. That what he's doing is of any real consequence beside for the sheer train wreck and Gawker value of it. I don't even know why I'm so angry about this, except maybe I'm layman for a world where being truly world-shakingly excellent at anything, at least in the field of popular music, if not elsewhere, is no longer absolutely necessary. You can be a star today just by creating a public life that people pay attention to, that's it. All you have to do is to be interesting or likeable or shocking enough and you can have your 15 minutes of fame, even if that means that no one will remember you or what you've done in just a few years. Line them up, how many popular artists have come and gone in the last decade? In my mind, real artists make stuff that changes the world and lasts. I haven't heard it yet. Is this what Life of Pablo is? If so, then I take it all back. I just needed to rant to someone. Now that was long as hell. But if you poke a lion with a stick and the lion has a Twitter account, then expect some repercussion. Has anybody heard of Bob Ezrin? What the fuck does he know about rap? I'm tired of old people that have no connection with anything trying to comment on music. Do something relevant. Please don't speak to me bro ever again. Your kids are ashamed of their dad. Sorry for speaking about kids, but could you imagine if you were Bob Ezrin? I feel so sorry for them. I'll send them 3 Yeezys to make up for the embarrassment that you have caused your family. Bro, you said Macklemore is more important musically than me. No offense to Macklemore, he's a nice human being. Bob, please never speak in public again. You are everything that is wrong with the old guard. Guys like you that run companies and don't invest in ye, even if I'm your kid's idol. Rock and roll was stolen, rap was exploited. I made Dark Fantasy and Watch the Throne in 1 year and wasn't nominated for either. And you know who has 2 albums of the year? Welcome to pop culture. Ezrin, I truly feel sorry for your friends and family that have to suffer an idiot like you for so many years. God bless the fools, all positive vibes. So right, although Bob's rant was a little bit longer than Kanye's, Kanye is not one who is going to take stuff lying down. And yeah, to go on and say who is Bob Ezrin, he is one of the most iconic producers of our era, the previous era, and the era before that. This guy truly did put out some of the most iconic albums to date. And I really think Kanye West should maybe go on Wikipedia every once in a while and catch up on music knowledge and truly see who he's dealing with, because to be fair, Bob Ezrin probably has more music credentials than Kanye West. Shame that Bob lived in an era where Twitter wasn't a thing, and Bob actually had to work really hard for his accomplishments and not just be a grade A douche and get all the media attention. That is the end of this week with Kanye West. But on that note, that's the end of this episode too, because this is already long as hell and I've still got so much more to do. I hope you guys have enjoyed it though, even if it has been a little bit long. That last story really did drag things out a bit, but hopefully you join me again for part 2, because it will be up very, very shortly and will continue this week in music. My name is Doodles, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.